Boy, I am pumped. I'm nervous, but I'm pumped. I'm ready though. God, what has it been? Over a year now? Yeah, it's been a year since our last little glimpse in the Night City. Oh shit, son! Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Oh, alright, glitch for a second.
You don't believe in no fate. Every day digging the grave. Stepping up to what it takes. City of dreams, city of...
Hello and welcome to this, the very first episode of Night City Wire, a brand new series from us at CD Projekt Red, where we'll be talking about all things
Hey, she don't have red hair anymore. What happened?
For today's episode,
Looks
we'll
good
be
like that,
starting
though.
with a brand
I like
new
that.
trailer. One of our developers will be joining us to help unpack
Oh, man,
everything
that
you're
green
going to
and
see.
red, man.
We'll have some news,
Maximum
an announcement about a
aesthetic.
secret
Maximum.
collaboration. We'll be taking a look at some brain dance
Ooh.
gameplay and welcoming
Hello.
back our developers just to have a chat about everything you're going to see.
She looked like my
But there is one more thing.
ex-girlfriend. Ooh,
Media
boy.
all over the world have been getting hands-on with Cyberpunk 2077.
No, man.
And when this episode finishes, you'll be able to go and check out exactly what they thought. So,
Ooh.
let's get started.
Dude, they've
It is
done
time to take
such
a
an
look at our
improvement
brand new
visually.
trailer. And after
That
that,
is
our
fucking
lead quest
awesome.
designer, Pavel Sasko, will be joining us because I've got a feeling you're going to have
Best
a
boy
few
Powell.
questions after watching this. So, let's take a look.
Let's go. Let's go.
Of this time,
God, dude, so
city
beautiful.
of endless opportunity. Ready to get your cherry popped? Yeah, come on.
City like any other, just bigger.
Nah, mano, not just any other city. Legends are born here.
Best boy Jackie.
The Major League.
Yes, sir.
Because Dex is pulling the strings. Doubt that puts us in the same league as them.
But we are. They just don't know it yet.
Fine, though.
But if you got the cojones,
Who are you?
know how to use them, you can do damn near anything.
Oh
Unless
man,
you catch a bull.
Even then,
leading,
you go out with a
beautiful
bang,
aesthetic
right?
everywhere.
You know, you can
Color
make heaps
combination,
more eggs
everything
than
about it.
motivational speaker.
Yo, Mr. V, a
The
pleasure.
basketball
So
though.
what's the gig,
You hear
Dex?
dunk off
Meant
his
to
head.
come out in one piece? How about we go over the plan?
There's this prototype tech, biochip to be precise. Jobs to grab it.
Guessing it belongs to
Everything
the
you could want and more.
Arasaka.
Oh, it's so much to take into. Ooh, that Arasaka building. Man, they're just throwing shit at me left and
First rule
right.
of the afterlife.
Ka-ching, baby.
Goes without saying, we do this on the hush. Ideally, no bodies, not a one.
Sounds simple enough.
Eat lead, asshole!
Ooh, the lighting. They changed the lighting in that.
Gonna be dangerous?
Don't you worry, mi amor. We're bulletproof.
Oh, that gunplay looks so much more responsive.
What the fuck just happened in there?
Can't
Sounds
stop
like it's
digging
good
nice
kicks to it.
Fucking Major Leagues. Happy now, Jackie?
Some Iron Man micro missiles. Yeah, let's go. All right.
Oh my god, we're so fucked.
This looks so cinematic. Unbelievable.
Dex, what the fuck?
Can't risk it, V.
And you,
All right, the scene from the cinematic last year. Yeah. Ooh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about now. That's a fucking Johnny Silverhand. So much better than what they showed in the deep dive
So the
last
trailer
year.
contains
Alright,
footage from the
alright.
game's prologue
Alright,
only,
let's go.
but there was an awful lot in it. So Pavel, why don't you
Yeah.
try and help us
No
unpack
shit.
everything
That
that we
was
just
a
saw?
lot.
Oh yeah, I mean, absolutely, I can try. So, what you have just seen is only the prologue of the game.
A whole
So
lot.
that
Like,
awesome
my head
stuff
is
only
spinning right
happening
now. There's
in the first
way
few
too much
quests.
information
What the trailer shows
in that
you is
short
really
span of
our
time.
stage,
Holy
the
shit.
Night City. You know, this gigantic city built of 6 completely unique districts, surrounded
dude,
by
look
the
through the
7th
window.
one
Oh,
that we
man.
call the Badlands. As a
You
player,
see in the buildings,
you
like,
are
the
meeting
transparency in the
Jack is your
windows,
friend.
like, it had
Now,
depth to
they
it.
together are trying to reach out for something that is
Man,
very
everything
precious.
just
They're
looks,
trying
it
to reach out for
flows
this
so
ship
well
of
organically.
immortality,
Like
this
the
gateway to eternal
girls
life.
in like those
Jackie
water
introduces you to
tubes
Fixer
in the back.
Dexter Deshawn.
So cool.
He's a very important person in the social ladder of Cyberpunk. He is able to provide the player with various jobs and contracts to be able
lighting.
to gather money, to be able to modify
lighting
their bodies,
everywhere.
push themselves
So
to the
well
limits,
executed.
to put their hands on.
This has to
and
be a
shit.
ray
But
tracing game.
as you can expect, not everything goes as planned, and but to see it, you will have to play the game.
There are an awful lot of really cool things in this trailer, and there's a few that I would just love to talk about a little bit more for the people at home. So let's start with talking about a gang called the Mox. Now, we see a few flashes of them in this trailer. I personally think they're really cool and one of my favorites, but can you give us a little bit more information about them?
Oh yes, so the Mox is one of the gangs that player is going to interact with throughout the game. The Mox is
That
the gang
style,
that has been
though.
formed in 2076.
Yes.
After death of Elizabeth
look at this
Warren.
Deus
She was
Ex
called
looking
Lisa.
club.
Now, she was owner of a brothel and former sex
I
worker.
need it!
And she
Let
was
me in!
protecting working guys and girls from harassment, from
I think
abuse.
we still
And
have
the
to wait
gang is really continuing her mission. And
How?
as a
How are we
player,
gonna
you are
survive?
going to interact with that gang.
I know I'm not
meet
going outside.
multiple different
Not till then.
NPCs,
I'm not
and
dying.
craft
Nope.
your own
Not before this
relationship
comes
with them
out.
and understand what they're all
No.
about.
So earlier
Sir.
on, you did mention a 7th district, a place called the Badlands. Now, we saw a few shots of this in the trailer, but I'd love for you to give us a bit more detail about the district outside of the city walls.
Okay, so the Badlands is this like dead, dried out space going around the whole Night City. And as a player, you'll be able to traverse that space in your car or motorcycle. This is a space that is inhabited by the nomads. Nomads are living in the different families and they are traveling
Looks
across that space in
good.
convoys made out of the cars and
Ooh,
motorcycles.
those mountains over in
And
the
as
distance.
a player, you'll be able to traverse and access different type of open world content
the
that
detail,
has been
though,
prepared
just
specifically
everywhere.
for you to get that awesome feel of the
Detail
Badlands
is
as an
leaking
arena.
everywhere.
In the trailer, we also saw like a completely metal creature. Now, he didn't look like he was from the Maelstrom gang. This looked like something else. So,
Dude,
please tell the
Powell
people
looks
at
so
home,
happy.
who is this
Like he just
giant
can't get the
metal
smirk
monster?
off his face, and
Okay,
I fucking love it.
So that big dude,
He's so
that
excited
was
to just finally
Adam
get all this
Smasher.
out. Oh,
He has been introduced in
Oh,
pen and
big
paper
boy.
in Cyberpunk 2020
Adam Smasher.
by our senpai Mike Smith.
he looks like
Adam Smasher is a
it looks like
fully
they like, took some
converted
influence from like
cyborg.
Wolfenstein
He
in a
is
way.
like,
It looks
who was
like it
always a
come right
loyalist
out of fucking
Arasaka.
Wolfenstein. God, dude.
And time has changed.
That's
and
a
in
scary
2077, he had to
motherfucker.
find his own space in Night City. But to find out, you'll have to play the game.
In this trailer, we do see some flashes of a Ripper doc called Victor Vector. I think if people have watched
Victor
our
Vector.
previous gameplays, they might remember him.
Oh, yeah.
But I'd really like for you to
Ooh,
give the
look at
people
that
at
improved
home
lighting.
some more
I see
information
they changed
about
the screens up
what
top,
Ripper
too.
docs
They used to be
are
white, now
and
they're
how
like
they'll
a
be
crimson
interacting with
red.
them when they play Cyberpunk.
So Reaper dogs in our game, they are surgeons. They are like a specific type of a job in the social ladder of Cyberpunk. They are accustomed and specialized in replacing limbs
to get
to
something
the metal
changed.
ones. They
It's
can
like
basically
they
update
changed
your
the
body,
texture on that
enhance
chair,
your body,
too.
change you
Like,
into
I don't
this
think it was ripped up
walking
before.
war machine. And as a
strange
player,
seeing
you are
it
going
from
to
a,
meet
like a
different
different
kind of Reaper
perspective
dogs
of
in
Melody
the
being
game,
there after
craft
watching
your
the
own relationship
2018
with them. Some
for
of
so
them are
long.
like important characters for a
It's
for
strange.
A story. Through
It is
that, you'll
strange.
invest eddies.
They changed
as
the
you're
poster on the
gathering
wall, too.
to
The
turn
Mantis
your
blade ain't
body
out there
into
anymore.
this tool
The
that
gun?
allows you to
looks
survive on the
different, too.
streets of Night City.
Pavel, thank you
Yeah.
so much for
It
joining
looks
us.
like they
I
had,
know
like, a
you'll be
bunch of
back later
particles,
in the episode because you're going to be
floating
helping
there.
us to analyze the
I don't
brain
think that
dance
was in
gameplay.
2018.
But
They
before
didn't have
that,
particle
we do
flight-
have
or
some
that-
news to share.
effects in there.
Earlier in the year, we announced that if you pick up Cyberpunk 2077 on Xbox One, you'll be able to play it on Xbox Series X when the console launches. And just in case you missed it, it will be the same for PlayStation players as well. If you pick up Cyberpunk 2077 on PlayStation 4,
Dude,
you'll
that was a
also
banging
be able
short,
to play it on
short
PlayStation
trailer,
5 when the
though.
console launches.
Like that was like
And
a
that's
really
not all.
good
There will
heist
be a free
trailer.
upgrade for Xbox Series X and
bar.
PlayStation 5, but we'll have more details on that soon.
Everything
Night
about it
City.
is just so right.
Before we reveal
Especially that
our
green
first
lighting.
look at the brain
Like, oh,
dance
it's so
gameplay
good to
and
see more
welcome
of
back
that
our
eerie
developers for a
green
chat,
lighting.
there is just one more thing we want to announce. Something that we've been working on in secret for a while. We are very excited to announce our partnership with Studio Trigger and Netflix to bring you Cyberpunk Edgerunners, a standalone anime set in the
Nani?
Cyberpunk universe, which we've been working on for some time now.
Okay.
Edgerunners is
Okay.
due to launch in
Just
2022.
please don't overload
but
it
for
with
some more
CGI.
information, let's go to
Please?
the team in Tokyo.
Please? Can we get some old school Ghost in the Shell? Like, what's that other one?
Hi, my name is Saya Elder.
Ninja
I am
Scrolls,
the Japan-based
like Vampire
producer
Hunter D
for
type
Cyberpunk
anime.
Edgerunners. What I do basically on this project is that I
Please
am
don't let it be
a
overfilled with
fixer,
CGI.
to put it in the
If you
words
do,
of
use
the
it smart.
Cyberpunk universe. We are a game company. We are a bunch of
she's
nerds,
kinda
and
cute,
wherever
though. I
there
like
are
those
nerds,
bangs.
there's going to be anime fans.
She rocks that good.
It was always a dream
Not
for
all
us
girls
to
can
make
pull off
anime.
bangs. She does
When
it
we
well.
began this
I
project,
think it goes really good for, like,
we
her
were certain that we
face.
didn't want to make a recreation of the game. Cyberpunk Edge Runners is a standalone story set in the same universe. The stage is still Night City, but everything else is totally new. New characters, new story. I do like to think that it's going to be a great gateway for newcomers to come and check Cyberpunk game and also the Cyberpunk genre as a whole. Right now
That's
we're
exciting.
in
That
Nakano,
is
which is
super
one of the
exciting.
biggest anime meccas of the world. I'm going to take you to Studio Trigger right now because we have the wonderful opportunity
Studio
to
Trigger.
talk
I
to the
don't
dream
think I've ever heard
team
of
that will be
Studio
bringing
Trigger.
you this anime.
こんにちは。トリガーの代表取締役の大塚です。
監督の今石井です。
キャラクターデザインを担当する吉
It's
成です。
exciting. I'd like to
ゲ
see
ーム
like
のサイバーパンクのファンの方、今回初めて触れる方両方に満足していただけるようにアニメを作るつもりです。よろしくお願いします。
今回はそのサイバーパンクという僕らが10代の一ファンにしか
Please
過ぎなか
revive
った
it how it's
頃に
supposed to
生
be
まれたジャン
revived.
ル、そうい
Do
うジャ
not
ンルのも
load
の
it
を
up
また
with
時代
CGI
が難所をして
bullshit.
作るというのは非常に楽しみです。
トリガーも10年ということで、監督に今石、キャラクターデザインに吉成というトリガーの最強の布陣で、トリガー10周年にふさわしい作品にしていきたいと思います。お楽しみに。
Interesting. That's fucking cool. They're doing something for that. I just really hope the animation
Now it is
quality
time to show you
nails
some
it.
gameplay of Braindance. This is a feature that you'll experience when you play Cyberpunk
Braindance.
2077.
Yes. Finally see how this
Braindance is
works.
essentially a recording of somebody else's experience. It allows you to relive their sense of sight, smell, touch, and even hearing, all thanks to a special device. After the gameplay, I will be welcoming back Paolo
That's a really
Sasco.
cool digital
I will
effect
also
they
be
got
joined by Patrick Mills, our senior quest designer and all-round lore master, who will be helping to answer your questions and give you some explanation on how you'll be interacting with Braindance when you play Cyberpunk 2077. So, let's take a look.
Plan simple. Do nothing odd. Don't get creative. You go in, snatch the cash, get out, and we sell the BD to those
Dude, it
psycho
looks so
freaks from the
good.
studio.
Oh, the visuals are so nice.
And remember,
So I'm assuming
on
that,
full
yeah, we're in the
blast.
Braindance stage.
They'll spot
You
us
see this,
extra
like,
for a
little
wicked
thing on top.
adrenaline high.
Different layers.
Okay, on you go.
Down, everybody! On the ground!
store.
What I
Oh,
see you
that's
gets
so
in the
damn
flooring! Money! Now, or I will fucking drop you, I swear to God!
Alright, oh.
Well,
Not
yeah,
bad.
hey...
Okay.
Now! Before I blow your fucking head off!
Alright, chill. Take it. I don't want it. I do not want it. Oh.
Ah!
Slow, deep breaths. Your cortisol and adrenaline spiked, but the
Oh.
soft activated your hormone blockers. Nothing
Ooh.
happened. You're alive and well.
Ooh, hello. Hi.
That was too much.
Oh, I know who I'm gonna be romancing first in the game. Please be an option. Please.
Dress.
Woohoo.
Hope? Hope wrapped up in something else.
Please.
Mm-hmm. Probably took a
Judy.
booster just before.
Hi, Judy.
You'll be fine. Got everything set up? Let's switch over to editing.
Oh, the way that hair flows. Good hair animation. Sign me up. She fine though, for real.
I'll sever the link to the BD Roller's sensory array.
She is like right up my alley.
Whole scene's yours. Full cam control in analysis mode, so move around, zoom in and out, whatever else you come up with. Think of it as your own little sandbox. So analysis mode, you control playback, can even pause when you feel the need. Then you use the editor console to unpause. Try it.
Plan simple. Do nothing odd. Don't get creative. You go in, snatch the cash, get out, and we sell the BD to those psycho freaks from the studio.
Psycho freaks.
Got it.
Dream as hell, right? Well, that's not all. You can speed things up or rewind, whatever you like. Give it
Okay.
a try. Rewind. Roll it back to
Forward,
the top.
rewind. I assume you can fast forward as well. Yeah.
All good. Neat.
Or did they already
Now
show it?
try
Oh, no,
fast
they're
forward
showing it
a
now.
bit.
Okay. I noticed they changed the UI a bit too. Ooh, I really like this new UI. It fits so well.
Okay. You can also reset the recording. That'll take you right back to the beginning. Try it.
God, dude, imagine what this is going to look like in HDR on an
Here's why you
OLED.
came in
Oh,
the first
I'm
place.
so
In
excited.
analysis mode, you get to view
I
and
need it.
scan details of the enviro recorded by the BD roller. Focus on the heat, the gun this gonk gets from his buddy at the beginning. Now scan it.
Plan simple. Do nothing odd. Don't get creative. You go in, snatch the cash, get out. And we sell the BD to those cycle freaks. And remember, take off the left.
Okay, right here. Excellent. Let's move on. Now,
I wonder how many
heads up.
episodes
In
of
analysis
Night
mode,
City Wire
you
they're
can
going to have.
ferret out background noise and
I assume
compensations
they'll
of the
probably
wrong
do one like
listeners.
every month, every other month.
This tech records everything, every little detail, even the sights and sounds.
By the time this
roller
game
was never
comes
aware
out,
of.
dude, there's going to be so
To
much
see the
shown.
sources of the recorded sensory signal,
Since they
switch
decided to
the
postpone
audio
it
layer in the
to
editor.
November.
Go ahead and try that now. Okay, good. Now you should see several sound signals.
I'm sure they'll probably release this in like 4K. I'm still going to definitely upscale it. Because even at 4K, the bitrate is just
Pack of
no
6,
bueno.
case of Brosif, and a couple of zappers.
Still kind of blocky.
We have a deal today on 2 flavors, curry and surf. Everybody, on the...
So, any thoughts?
Unbelievable. Seriously, like what's happening right next to me.
Yeah, it's how BD
It's very
recording implants
interesting.
work. They
Not
pick up
exactly
sound
how I
from all the
imagined
elements in
they'd
the
be doing brain dance,
Then
but
editor
it makes
tweaks
sense.
makes
It
them
really
pop.
makes a really cool,
Keep playing with the
interesting
sound,
way to do
explore it a bit.
detective work.
We'll move on when you get bored.
Kind of reminds me of like that system off of the Detroit
Wanna see
Become
if it's in
Human
the
game,
flooring?
in a way.
Money, left.
Sometimes you can analyze extra layers in the raw, stuff the roller's cyberware picked up.
The effect they got going on for this
Like
is so,
what?
so sick.
Ev's got Karoshi optics that grab infrared, meaning you should be able to
And you
grab
can see
heat
like the floor in the
signatures from
distance like
recording.
move. That's so cool.
Hella nice.
Hella
Scanning
nice.
works on peeps too. Walk up to the wounded chick. Try scanning her. Alright, next thing. Scroll forward to the part where our artist gets a lead injection.
They're the same button sounds that they make whenever before the live stream, yeah. Same sound. Oh!
See that? They shot him and he never saw it coming. But you will.
Shadow
Here
Man.
it comes.
Or Shadow
My
Man?
favorite part of the
Oh,
game.
looks like
See the
it
blinking
was his
thing over the
friend.
entrance? Surveillance cam. Must have caught our shooter. You'll see in a sec. Cam feeds to the screen behind the clerk. Roll back to where the screen's in the kid's field of vision, then scan it. His own Chumba shot him.
It
Probably
was
planned
his
to all
own
along.
friend.
Must have got a nice slice of cred on the black market for a BD like this. BD
What a
freaks
dick.
ready to pay a preem for a real flatline. Anyway, if you've seen enough,
Preem.
you can exit. Yeah, impressive, right? Too bad most of the BDs we do here are only good for
You're
fun and
impressive, Judy.
So braindance is a pretty big part of the cyberpunk universe. It's not just something used for adult films. There is an awful lot to it. And there's 2 sides I'd really like you guys to help
I'm
me
really
explore.
curious to
First
see
is
how
the
far they
lore.
take that.
So how this actually fits into the universe. And then there's the gameplay side. So how players will be interacting with it. So Patrick, could you tell us more about the lore of braindance?
I would love to. So in the world of Cyberpunk 2077, braindance was invented way back in the early 2000s at UC Santa Cruz. It was developed as a way of recording a person's experiences and then playing them back for someone else, so that they could relive them as though it was happening to them.
Yeah, I'm really
it was
curious to see
originally
what
used
they
for
do with
things
that
like
system.
therapy and prisoner rehabilitation.
It's
but
definitely
by
unique. It's
2077,
definitely a different
become this
take on
global media
executing
industry,
a
including
way
things
of
like
a
movies, mass
detective
mass
gameplay
entertainment,
loop
things like that,
for this.
video
Ooh,
games,
Judy!
and interactive things, and of course,
Get
adult
over
content
here,
as well.
man.
Now,
you're
in
so
our game,
fine.
we deal a lot with black brain dancers.
I should
or
not be this
XBDs, as we
excited
call
about
them.
a
And
female
there are different
video game
types of
character,
those.
but God,
but the one that
just
you
her
saw in the
face, just
trailer
her
just there was
relaxed
a
face is just-
flatliner. Now that's where the person recording it actually dies during the recording. And it's popular with sort of an illicit kind of a thrill, but a mercenary can also use them for various things, and you'll see that in the game, of course.
And from the gameplay perspective, we have been working a lot throughout last years trying to figure out the best way how to use the brain dance in the game as a mechanics. So what we have settled on is this brain dance editor mode. As a player, you will be able to run the brain dance in the editor mode and see different clues that have been registered on the peripheral of
That should be pretty cool.
Now, as a player, you can
As long as they
slide
can
on the
implement,
timeline
right.
of the recording.
I'm curious
back and
about the
forth,
camera speed on it,
trying
though. It
to
does look a
uncover
little
different
slow.
clues.
Like,
and
if you
that
could
clues
speed
are
up the
actually telling a
camera,
story in the
like,
game.
just
so
a little bit.
As a player, you will
As far as like
run
movement
different
goes, from side to
investigations
side,
that will lead you
forward and
to
backwards,
different
I think it'd work a
mysteries,
little better
and you will
'cause it does
uncover
look a
them
little bit
actually
slow
using
whenever
that
you're
brain
moving.
dance as a mechanics in the game.
So, as Pavel was
Tighten
saying,
it up a little bit.
we
I
use
think it'll
brain
be
dance
good.
as a storytelling tool. It's not a collectible. It's not something where you're going to go in and you're going to play it and you're going to be like, I've seen this before. What we use brain dance for is to give you a keyhole into the life of the residents
Curious
of
if
Night
there will
City.
be out-of-story
And we can
moments
explore
for it
things
as
like
well,
childhood trauma,
like just for-
religion,
for,
various
like, some
philosophical
fun, random little
ideas
brain dance
in a way
things.
that you might not otherwise experience in a story about a mercenary on the tough streets.
So we've tried to
Okay.
talk about some of the aspects that we think the community will find really exciting, but you know, while you're both here, I'd love to know, what is it about Cyberpunk that you guys are really excited for? Patrick, why don't you start?
So, one of the things that I'm
Tell
most
me it
excited about
all.
in this game is the characters and the way they interact with the world. We've got this really interesting world that stretches all the way back to the Cyberpunk 2020
Oh, with
source
glowing
material
eyes,
and all of these
yeah.
events and all of those things. But those don't mean anything
Maelstrom
unless they
facility,
connect with
looks like.
characters. And so when we come
I've
up with a
seen a lot
character,
of
we
those
start
ones.
with their function.
These
What
like
is
twins?
this person? What do they do in the story? But we don't stop there. We go back and
Okay,
we figure out
alright,
what was
some
their
more hand to
childhood
hand.
like, what was their upbringing like, what kind of obstacles did they face in this harsh
Yeah, I
reality?
can't get over that
and
green lighting,
Did they
though.
overcome
Yeah,
them? And
that's so
how
good.
did they overcome them? Or
I'm
did
so
they not
happy to see
overcome
that
them?
more.
Why? And you can see all of those things in their
All that
environment,
dude
in
is
their
missing is a
dialogues,
mustache.
in sort of how they operate in the world. And we come up with that for all of our characters. Now, you look at someone like Victor Vector, and you're going to see stories about his past in his environment and in his dialogue. You know, we come up with that stuff even if we don't use it in the game because it helps inform us as to who these characters
You
are.
know, as much as
And
I want, like,
for
a,
me, I would not be
a
myself.
long
I would not
gameplay
say
segment,
that I'm
like, I
the
think
most
it's
excited
better
about
for them
our
to
quest.
go this
like
route.
with our Witcher 3 team, with,
Just so
with
it doesn't
Patrick
spoil
and
too much.
like
I'd rather
everybody
see
that
short
has
clips.
stayed with us since
As
the Witcher
much
3
as I
time.
want,
we
like,
really
a
have grown so much.
20-minute one.
We have learned so much, and we have used
Yo, that-
all that
that
experience
weapon
to
has
put
some
them
good kick
into
to
the
it. That is a
quest that we
sick
have made.
revolver,
And
that
you will
barrel.
not find really a filler in this game. Like everything has a meaning. Like we put so much effort
Oh, the amount of
into
detail
making
to
sure that
everything is just
everything
staggering.
is rewarding, is interesting, is talking about characters, as Patrick said,
everything.
is talking about
There's so much
worlds, is
detail to smoke
talking
and
about
cigarettes.
emotions, like touching the player in a really, like a real way. And I just can't wait to find out what you think.
Pavel, I know you mentioned story and quests and writing quests, and when I was last in the studio, I had a look and I saw a notebook on your desk, and I would love for you to show everybody this notebook.
Show me the notebook.
You asked for it.
Go out
so
there and enhance this.
this is
Then
my
go out there and
notebook.
enhance
This
it.
is Salsa quest designer. The reason
See
is
what kind of
I done salsa,
fuckery he's
and I'm a
got
quest
in
designer,
there.
so you know. So
Show
I
me your black
started
magic.
this notebook actually when we
Oh,
were
God.
really starting Cyberpunk. At the
Oh,
very
there's no
beginning, I
way.
wrote like a first note,
It's
and
all,
it
like,
says pretty much
lined out.
something along the lines of that we were starting with a
scribbled out.
prototype. And then, you know, I kept on
You aren't
basically
seeing
noting
shit,
things that we've
son.
been working on
Ooh,
for like
that
next
is
years.
hard
I remember
scribbled.
once when our concept artists actually
Can't
approached me,
recover that, boys.
and they said that they wanted
Sorry.
to take a look on my notebook. I was like, what for actually?
Madman
they took
Powell.
some pictures and they told me, yeah, well, you know, because
Absolute
we are looking
madman.
for a
Let's prove it
reference
right
material
here.
for a notes of a
Look how big it,
psychopathic
look how
killer.
thick that is too.
So,
God.
so yeah, well, you may find maybe some of my notes in the game.
Pavel and Patrick, thank you so much for
Too
joining
great.
me. I'm pretty lucky because I have read some of the stories that you and the team have written for Braindance, and I'm pretty excited for people to discover them. But before we do finish today's episode, there is
Don't
just
finish.
one more
I
thing
need
we'd
more.
like to
I need
talk
like
about.
3 more hours of this. Come on.
Earlier in
Let's
this
go.
episode, I mentioned that media have been getting hands-on with the opening of Cyberpunk 2077, and they should be posting their impressions.
Boy, I'm not going to get
about
any work
now.
done today.
And if you missed anything from today's episode, don't worry, we'll be uploading everything to our channels very soon. And
Alright.
finally, on behalf of everybody at
I guess
CD
that's
Projekt
it.
Red, we just want to say thank
Fucking
you so
awesome.
much for
What a
joining us
good
for this
presentation.
very first episode
And it's
of
only
Night City
first.
Wire. But don't worry, we'll be back with episode 2.
Alright, I guess
in
I'll be
just a few
upscaling this
weeks.
content
So,
whenever I can get
we
some
shall see you soon.
uncompressed video. Until next time. Peace!